Let's let some of the 5 billion viewers filter in here. Actually, see what all is going on today. Let's see. Cheese, cheese, cheese. All right, so this is a extremely controversial topic. Probably should have parental advisory. This is like trigger warning. I'm giving all the disclaimers up front because um, this is going to really upset people and bother them. And for sure, YouTube is going to demonetize this video. So head on over to my Patreon, which I don't have, and donate where I don't exist. Anyway, I want to ask. I've been watching all these power metal documentaries and stuff, especially U.S. and European, all this stuff. Was No Mercy power metal? And did Mexicans create power metal like they created pretty much everything else? Let's look. Let's look at Chat GPT. What is power metal? And this can be the Chat GPT answer. I'm sure there's like, genre specific answers, but let's just see what they have to say. Power metal is a subgenre of heavy metal music that typically emphasizes powerful melodic guitar riffs, fast tempos, and soaring vocals. It often features fantasy-themed lyrics incorporating elements of mythology, epic storytelling, and sometimes even incorporating elements of science fiction. Key characteristics of power metal include melodic guitar riffs. Power metal is known for its emphasis on catchy melodic guitar riffs, often played at fast tempos. Guitar solos are common and tend to be technically proficient and melodically rich. Vocal style. Power metal vocalists often employ a high-pitched operatic singing style with a wide vocal range. Vocal melodies are usually uplifting and anthemic, and harmonized vocals are also common. And I think we should remember right now that this is the definition looking back from what time it is now compared to how it was at the beginning there. Fantasy themes. Many power metal bands incorporate fantasy themes into their lyrics, drawing inspiration from mythology, folklore, literature, and fantasy worlds. Epic tales of heroic quests, battles, and mythical creatures are common lyrical themes, right? Keyboard orchestration. Okay, now keyboards are often used in power metal to add symphonic elements and orchestral textures to the music. They may provide atmospheric background layers, orchestral arrangements, or even take on lead melodies. So, in U.S. power metal, some would say the real power metal, there's usually not keyboards, right? Keyboards are kind of a thing. No. Epic atmosphere. Power metal aims to create grand epic atmosphere, often achieved through the combination of melodic guitar lines, soaring vocals, and symphonic elements. The music often feels larger than life and uplifting, inspiring a sense of triumph and adventure. Some notable bands in this power metal genre include Helloween, Blind Guardian, Stratovarius, Hammerfall, and Dragon Force. Power metal has a dedicated fan base worldwide and is known for its energetic live performances and enthusiastic audience participation. So this really seems to be the European-centric type of power metal. But let's see. Could you give me a stereotypical example, a power metal album cover artwork? I don't have the thing that draws you like the AI pictures or whatever. But let's see. Fantasy setting. The cover might depict a fantastical landscape such as a majestic castle or a mystical forest or vast otherworldly realm. This setting reflects the genre's penchant for fantasy themes and epic storytelling. Heroic characters. The artwork may feature heroic characters such as knights, warriors, or wizards, often depicted in dramatic poses or engaged in battle against formidable foes. These characters embody the adventurous spirit and heroic themes commonly found in power metal lyrics. Epic creatures. The cover might include mythical creatures such as dragons, unicorns, or other fantastical beasts, adding to the sense of adventure and wonder. Epic symbolism. Symbolic imagery such as ancient runes, mystical artifacts, or celestial bodies like moons or stars may be incorporated into the artwork, adding to the epic atmosphere and hinting at the album's themes. Vibrant colors and dynamic composition. Power metal album covers often feature vibrant colors, dynamic compositions, and intricate details that draw the viewer's eyes and convey a sense of excitement and energy. Band logo and title. The band's logo and album title are typically prominent on the cover, often rendered in bold, decorative fonts that complement the overall aesthetic of the artwork. Overall, a stereotypical power metal album cover artwork would evoke a sense of fantasy, adventure, and epic storytelling, reflecting the themes of the music itself. Okay, so let's just go here. Okay, and let's make sure that music is actually coming through here. Hold on.
Here we are, mighty glorious at the end of the rainbow, with gold in our hands. Status #1. Taste what.
I think so. Yep. It should be. Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry about that. The real world live is live. Let's see. So that's probably like 5 or 10 minutes of nonsense. Okay, so maybe I can cut this up or edit this later, and we'll have make a little bit more sense, more coherent. So let's see. Let's take a look at No Mercy.
Where do you go, my lovely? Where do you go? I wanna know.
Okay, that's definitely not power metal. How is this band called No Mercy? What in the world? Let's see. Let's see their album cover. Let's see if we can find it. No Mercy. Where do you go? Album cover. Okay. So let's compare this with the Chat GPT thing here. Fantasy setting. Not really. It's like a green screen. Is a green screen a fantasy setting? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Hold on. Give me 1 second. See, let me find some real. Yeah, I mean, they're going to block me on Facebook in a second. Was that even long enough to get me blocked on Facebook? Let's go take a look. It's probably already got the warning notice. Let's see. No, not yet. Amazing. That is mind-blowing. Okay, so far so good. Sorry, this is live. I have to keep running around. One second. All right, let's see if we can actually get moving here. Sorry about all this. Okay, here we go. Okay, so look at this record cover. Fantasy setting, not really. Maybe green screen. Heroic characters. I don't know. These guys don't look like heroes. Epic creatures. No. Epic symbolism. No. Vibrant colors and dynamic composition. Yeah. Band logo and title. Now look at this. No Mercy. How are these guys No Mercy? Ugh. What is it? Okay, but really, let's see. Let's take a real look here. No. See? Now let's look at the real thing. Not this fake nonsense. Okay. Oops, wrong one. Where did it just go? All right, so here we go. So let's look at this. Fantasy setting. Oh, yeah. There's like some sky plane or something, or they're in the smoke and you see the sky and the lightning behind them. Heroic characters. Look at, oh, man. This is just nonstop. Hold on 1 second. Sorry.
I am Daniel from Credit Card Services. How are you doing today?
Okay.
I see that you're responding to get a lower interest interest rate on your credit cards, right?
We'll say that again.
I see that you're responding to get a lower interest rate on your credit cards, right?
Oh yeah. Who was I responding to?
Oh, oh, okay. This call is about to drop down the interest rate on your existing credit cards, right? Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hold on. Give me 1 second, real quick.
Oh,
Sorry. Oh man, I'm sorry. This live stream stuff is rough because stuff never ends here, and bummer that that spam caller hung up. I was gonna mess with them for as long as I could. It's like we got they're asking us to do a show with the Dio tribute band over in Kapolei. We'll see if I can drive out there. Anyway, okay. So where were we? Heroic characters. These look pretty heroic, man. The guy's got like swords and stuff. Epic creatures. Yeah, I mean they're both heroic characters and epic creatures. Look, that guy's got a cloak on, right? Cloak, lightning. I think this guy's got a bomb. I'm not sure. Epic symbolism. You know, there's no pentagram in this one. I don't see. Maybe there's something I'm not really seeing. Vibrant colors and dynamic composition, I'd say so. Band logo and title, and look at that. I mean, this is very symbolized. Overall, a stereotypical power metal album cover artwork would evoke a sense of fantasy, adventure, and epic storytelling, reflecting on themes and style of the music itself. So we got all that. Now, one thing that ChatGPT seemed to get wrong, I don't know if wrong is the right thing, but this is very much the European style, you know, with keyboards and everything. I mean, you'll see like American power metal bands saying absolutely no to keyboards sometimes, you know, not always, but, and, you know, not every European band plays keyboards. But let's see. Can you name me some early U.S. power metal bands? Of course, we're going to get Manowar, right? Manowar, Virgin Steel, Fate's Warning. Fate's Warning? Interesting. Crimson Glory, I believe that. Jagdpanzer. So let's look at Manowar real good. Real quick, sorry. Okay, so this is what you think of when you think of Manowar, right? As the guys in Metal Blade called it, the kings of mustache metal. Now this is still, you know, you look at the big fonts and stuff. Fantasy setting, yeah. Heroic characters, obviously, right? It's Conan the Barbarian guys. Epic creatures, you know, I think they have ones with like dragons. Maybe not. Does Manowar not have stuff where they got like dragony kind of things? Let me see. That's actually a good question. Hold on. Manowar. Yeah, I know they had songs about being Vietnam vets and stuff. Yeah, I don't see any dragons. Interesting. I thought there would be. Yeah, look at that logo, man. That is metal. All right, let's see. So how about can you tell me some differences between US and EU power metal? US power metal often emphasizes a more straightforward heavy metal sound with a focus on crunchy guitar riffs, driving rhythms, and powerful vocals. Bands like Manowar and Jagdpanzer have exemplified the style with a sound that leads towards traditional heavy metal with elements of power metal. European power metal tends to feature more melodic and symphonic approach, with an emphasis on intricate guitar harmonies, keyboard orchestrations, and elaborate song structures. Bands like Helloween, Blind Guardian, and Stratovarius are known for this style, often incorporating progressive and neoclassical elements into their music. U.S. power metal bands often explore themes of fantasy, mythology, and epic battles similar to their European counterparts. However, there may be a greater emphasis on themes of power, strength, and valor, reflecting a more straightforward and assertive lyrical approach. European power metal bands frequently delve into elaborate fantasy narratives, drawing inspiration from literature, mythology, and folklore. Why don't you just say it? Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings, even though Dungeons and Dragons is American, right? There is often a strong emphasis on storytelling in concept albums, while with lyrical themes ranging from epic quests and heroic battles to philosophical and introspective topics. Cultural influences. U.S. power metal bands may draw influence from American cultural icons and traditions, yes, incorporating elements of Western mythology, frontier legends, and American folklore into their music and imagery. And let's definitely not forget Native Americans. Now, I just was reminded by a very important person in the Native American community that I had, in fact, recorded power metal. Many Native American power metal bands. I didn't know what that was the term back then, and I didn't know that's. Yeah, I don't think anybody used the term power metal. This was before Dragon Force came out, or maybe right around then. I'll give you a little taste here. So again, like that said, it's going to be heavier. It's going to be way heavier and more brutal. And instead of the traditional European medieval folklore type of stuff, it's could have Native American stuff, and which this does. So let me just play a little bit of this for you. Yeah, thank you, Charlie from Honey Village. I don't know if you can't hear that. Now this does have leads and stuff. These guys are actually very accomplished guitar players, but it's different. Like you don't hear this isn't what you hear on Amaranth or Battle Beast or I don't know what you call Blind Guardian. It's not really about Lord of the Rings, but it is about these epic quests of Native Americans and stuff, and it kind of fits into there. But yeah, there is something different to it, right? But one of the things that I noticed is that some of these early American power metal bands, they had like a darker thing. Like everything in the European stuff, it's kind of like super uplifting. It's really, I love it. The anthems and stuff, the sing-alongs and everything. But that's another thing about Mexican music, and it's important to say, especially when it came to American hardcore punk. There is a sing-along element to it too, but it's the chant. It's like the gang chant, and it is, to me, the European power metal anthem sing-alongs. They're uplifting, they're glorious, they're magical, and they're amazing. They evoke a very strong emotions and stuff. But the gang chant sounds real, like you're about to get beaten to a pulp. Like this is real. This isn't talking about swords and dragons and magical spells. These are guys that are about to pound something into oblivion. And it's very real street level violence that is clear and present and doesn't require any imagination at all to see. And that, to me, when you're talking about power, it's quite a lot more powerful. Not that, but you know, I do kind of prefer the European power metal. I'm sorry, but the lyrical choices, you know, there's just as much fantasy in Slayer as there is in Blind Guardian, right? I mean, it's just a different type of fantasy. That don't come writing in that Slayer's not a power metal band. I know, okay. I would argue there's some early Metallica and definitely Judas Priest that would fit into. That probably wouldn't be power metal without. But anyway, it seems like they shy away from the darker undead topics. But let me let's see. Can you give me some stereotypical examples of power metal lyrics? Now let's take a look at this. Let's see if, I don't know how good ChatGPT is wrong in a lot of stuff. Like, man, do not trust ChatGPT when it comes to working on guitars. It gets everything wrong. It's terrifying. Okay, so here we go. Epic battles and quests. Power metal frequently depicts epic battles between forces of good and evil, often featuring heroic warriors, knights, and mythical creatures. Lyrics may describe epic quests to vanquish dark forces or reclaim lost kingdoms. Fantasy worlds and mythical creatures. Power metal lyrics often transport listeners to fantastical realms filled with dragons, wizards, elves, and other mythical creatures. These lyrics may describe epic journeys through enchanted forests, mysterious dungeons, or distant galaxies. Now, this is cracking me up because notice this is all from the good side. Not that it's necessarily not good to not say it this way, but courage, honor, and valor. Okay. Power metal celebrates virtues such as courage, honor, and valor with lyrics that inspire listeners to overcome adversities and stand up for what they believe in. Heroes are often depicted as noble warriors who face daunting challenges with unwavering resolve. Now, here's where it gets back to the streets. Now, if you're a Mexican gang, you know, you're living in Southern California, courage, honor, and valor are pretty important. You guys, a lot of people from the outside may not see it that way, but from the inside, it is very much. It's almost like the Bushido Code or something. You know, it courage, honor, and valor are huge. More important than money, and often, honestly, more important than lives. It's it can be pretty overwhelming. Overcome adversity and stand up for what they believe in. Yeah, there is very often a very lopsided fight going on. Face daunting challenges with unwavering resolve. And where did we see that before, right? Suicidal tendencies, which happens to have the singer of No Mercy in this recorded form anyway. You know, talking about the psycho, right? That just, you gone so crazy that you're unafraid of anything. You're willing to take on any challenge because you were just that dedicated to it. You know, psycho this, psycho that. You look at any of the Suicidal Tendencies albums, you'll find that idea of the, I guess you could call it in Europe, you call it like a berserker warrior, right? So anyway, triumph and victory, yeah. Freedom and independence, yeah. Love and loss, not so much. I don't know. So let's look at this No Mercy thing. See if somebody actually put the times. And I know everybody's going to say this is a thrash album. No Mercy. I'm just going to look for one that has hopefully something with lyrics. So, okay, so here's Day of the Damned. I'll play a little bit of this. Now this is very much when thrash was coming out and everything. So there was a lot of speed, and this very much sounds like thrash, but again, I don't think the genres are so desperately pulled apart as people seem to see. Let me see. No Mercy, Day Damned, lyrics. Now I got our cleaning ladies coming any second now, so I may get a little bit interrupted. Let's just look at these lyrics and compare it to this Chat GPT stuff, okay? The world so long has weighed on me, left buried and forgotten. Buried, you know. But now I've come to pay you back, decomposed and rotten. Wow. Digging out with my hand, it blossoms from the earth. Soon my body will be free. I start my second birth. Now, again, you might think, wow, that sounds a lot more like Slayer than it sounds like any power metal, right? But the thing is, these are fantasy elements, and this band really, I wouldn't put it that close to Slayer. But here's a story about I guess a guy got killed and buried, and but now he's going to be reborn and take revenge. Not something that hasn't been on a Manowar album. Actually, the Manowar album came out later, I think. They rise from the dead, coming to take your soul. They are the zombies from the grave. No mercy is what they show. There's no turning back. The eternal rise. They come for your soul. There's no place to hide. They want you to burn in hell. And then the chorus, Day of the Damned, get on your knees and pray. Day of the Damned, because they're going to take your soul away. And let's just look at a couple things here. Okay, so first of all, undisputedly, this album cover is power metal. I don't care what you say. Go look at Stevie T's How to Be Power Metal. This is a power metal album cover. thrash. Let me get into it. Okay, now definitely not the typical European power metal screaming, super high singing voice, but there is thrash or power metal. They both have that kind of galloping rhythm. Let's see. Check this out. Modulation. So there's your gang vocals right there. I know that's not quite the sing-along that the Europeans do with those long, soft Blind Guardian sing-along choruses, but the whole audience will definitely be... it's not the best example of their gang vocals. Let's look at... let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, now watch. This is the more gang vocal example. Entire audience here. So another one, very much a fantasy theme. Now check this out. This is called Waking the Dead here. Find these lyrics real quick. Gang vocals. Okay, now so this one, again, like when I say the themes of this stuff, they're fantasy, but they're not the nice kind of fantasy. I think Sabaton kind of gets into, you know, war and stuff, but it's still they're really epic and uplifting about it. But so this basically is a story. Look at this. Look at these lyrics here. Kept in the guard of Mother Nature's womb, rest in the safety of their tomb, sheltered by 6 feet of soil and rock. The spade is the key which their gate will unlock, man. And they do. This is like that backwards written, like Iron Maiden style that you see in so much power metal. It's not any way you would talk normally. Why should they rest so peacefully when we're up above in pure misery? I don't care that they've already died. That wasn't enough to make me satisfied. So basically what they're saying is, they're so mad at these guys that even though they're dead, they're going to find a way to resurrect them, dig them up, put them back to life, and then kill them again, right? Now tell me that's not sorcery. That's not witch. That's not like magic and stuff like that. So I say this album was 1987, 1986. When was the first Halloween? Let's see. Chat GPT. Let's see. First Halloween album, 1985. Okay, well they were around. I don't know. So it's right around the same time. When was the first Manowar album? 1982. Wow. So they were around for a long time. I wonder if Rocky George or any of those guys actually listen to Manowar. So now, yeah, this is a very confusing thing. But I say I can't look at this album cover and these fantasy themes. And I know that power metal went to be, like I say, much more uplifting, much more Lord of the Rings from Legolas and Frodo's side of the way of looking at it. But early on, Manowar had that Conar the Barbarian kind of thing. Like, he may have been on the good side, but he wasn't afraid to break a lot of eggs to make those omelets, right? Now, No Mercy, it could definitely argue that resurrecting somebody so you could kill them again is not necessarily on the good side, but when you look at this right here, courage, honor, and valor. Let me read this paragraph again. Power metal celebrates virtues such as courage, honor, and valor with lyrics that inspire listeners to overcome adversity and stand up for what they believe in. Heroes are often depicted as noble warriors who face daunting challenges with unwavering resolve. Now, I don't know what could be a more daunting challenge than resurrecting somebody from the dead so that you can kill them and torture them again and stuff. Yeah, that it fits. I'm telling you. So, like BMX and everything else that's important in our lives, I think that the Mexicans most likely were responsible for power metal, and I will happy to argue that point with anybody. And I know it's totally different than what we hear from, like, I know Blind Guardian is like Halloween, Blind Guardian and stuff. That's what you think of when you think of power metal, at least in the European side. But I think, today, power metal, I mean, so important with Dragon Force, right? Dragon Force, you don't care if you're American or European. Seeing guys come back and start shredding like that. Very soon after that, you had Avenged Sevenfold, which I don't think you would call a power metal band, but they were shredding too. Like Dragon Force for a lot of people brought the shred back, unapologetically, and that's one of the best things about power metal to me is even, I mean, even if you're talking about street level stuff, and even if you say No Mercy is not power metal, none of those Venice bands are power metal, whatever. Even if you're talking about street level stuff, getting the shred back, it's something, and there is a cheese factor to it, and I think power metal fans embrace the cheese willingly. They are happy to be called of cheese. Olmec metal. Oh. Yeah, you just missed it. I played I didn't realize that I'd been recording Native American power metal for like 20 years ago, and one of the bands was showing me that yes, indeed, this is definitely what we were, and these were some of the bands that inspired us and stuff. Yeah, embrace the cheese. I think so. I'm looking at making new kinds of music this late in life, and I love the inspiration that the European power metal gives, especially Sabaton. So again, Sabaton doesn't sing in the super high voices. Battle Beast, I don't know, would you call them power metal? I think so. I think they fit it as well as anybody else, even though it's more symphonic or whatever. They do sing high. Amaranth, I know that has like techno and all that other stuff in it, but to me that's still power metal, man. I'm looking at making stuff that's a little bit more, and it's funny because we definitely didn't call it power metal back then, but the kind of music I was working on as a hardcore punk band and hardcore punk guitarist, it was an early form of power metal. I mean, really, it was fantasy. It had harmonies. It had a lot of thrash and shred and stuff, and I never really got it off the ground. But today I'm really looking at more a little more tribal stuff. Yeah, man, I tell you, it's a weird thing that once you're in with one Native American metal band, you're in with them no matter what reservation it is. It could be anywhere in the country or in Canada, and you're welcome there, and you're going to run into somebody you know there, which is just bizarre to me that they will travel to help each other out, especially after like natural disasters and stuff. So once you're in with one reservation, man, you are in. And there's two kinds of music on, in case you don't know, on American Indian reservations, Dene, Skins, whatever you want to call it. There's two kinds of music. For real. There are only two kinds of music. There's metal and there's heavy metal. That's it. There is nothing else, man. Like, I loved it because, in the early 2000s, there was a hot topic like emo. They actually became metalcore, but early on they were like the Scene Kid style, like almost like goth emo stuff. Native Americans coming out. They had the hair colors and the eyeliner and stuff, and but that quickly evolved into metalcore, and it just kills me because you would I would record these bands, and for European bands, a lot of European metal bands, a rite of passage was to play on a reservation. And I would try to explain to them that the reservation isn't what you think. It's not this Cowboys and Indians movie thing. It's not one of your giant European outdoor festivals. It's going to be a rodeo ground or maybe a cattle tank or a transfer station with a lot of bleachers, and it's going to be mostly guys, and it's going to be pretty brutal. It's not what you think. It's not what you've seen in the movies. And but they still insist they have to go play these shows. And so, we make sure that they can, and they get to put that in. And they definitely realize that, yeah, it wasn't anything like what they expected. But they go away with friends that if they ever come back to America, they can go anywhere. I mean, it's amazing what a network that is. Like you'll see the same guys in Arizona and Florida, especially after hurricanes and stuff. And man, when they come off the reservation to play shows in town, that's kind of my favorite part. They rent a bunch of school buses or they have them or something, and they'll come play a show. And everybody comes with them. I mean, talking grandma, everything. And the grandmas will be sitting in the school bus outside. I mean, think about like Phoenix, the Mason Jar. You think about how many famous metal bands played at that place. Tiny little place. But you would have all these school buses from the reservation parked outside. And the grandmas would be out there knitting. No joke. They'd be knitting scarves or hats or whatever they're knitting for their kids while the band's inside playing the show. And the best part was, if you ask the grandma, what kind of music they're playing, they would mime it, and it was hilarious. Like, rah, 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 rah. And yeah, man, there's nothing like that. I really miss having those reservations so close by, because if metal ever needed a place to rest and recuperate, to a reservoir, I guess you could call them reservoirs of metal, because anytime metal ebbed and flowed and started to die in the United States, it was alive and well on the reservations, and you could always find, in the worst times, you could find your favorite bands playing those reservation shows, which is absolutely awesome. Sometimes it'd be casino shows or whatever, but more often it'd be rodeo shows. Anyway, I say that No Mercy is power metal. And I'm willing to argue that with anybody. And with that, and this is a ridiculously long thing that I probably could have done in 5 minutes. I'm sorry about that. There's a lot of interruptions and stuff. I'm gonna go without a cleaning lady, and it's Hawaiian food day over time, so I'm gonna go get some Kahlua pig.